So it's been a really long time since I've made a video. I'm so glad that you're here with me, and I know that a lot of you make comments on some of my older videos. I don't know, I've been really busy, but today it's Sunday. It's a relaxing day, and I kind of wanted to look through some of my children's books from the last about year. Some of them are older, but it made me think about all of my favorite books and things that I've collected as I traveled, so I thought you might like to look with me. And I have some other things besides books as well, but a lot of my favorite things are books. I look for books when I travel, but there's some other things here that are very reminiscent of the reason why I like books, so I thought I'd share those with you today too. So I guess I'm going to start out with one of my favorites. This was a children's book that I picked up in Czech Republic. We were actually on our way to Brno, and on our way to Brno we stopped at a little roadside gas station, and I think we got gas and something to drink and whatnot, and this was actually for sale there. So it translates to like Animals on Safari, I think, and I tried to pick up a book that is by an author that is from the country that we're in. So it's actually fairly easy to do. You'd think there'd be more, American things, but when it comes to books, it's actually really easy to find artists that illustrate and writers that write in their country. So this is Czech Republic, and it actually tells a little bit about the author on the back, and it is a well-known Czech author and illustrator who's kind of one of those beloved children's book staples. So this is actually a pop-up, and it's really, really neat. So hopefully you guys can see the pop-up pieces pretty well, but it kind of translates to this little cat. I think this little cat and dog are going on an adventure, and he's feeding the lion an ostrich egg. You can see the ostrich back there. The parts move really well. This one's really nice. I hope you can see this one too, but he's balancing the little cat and dog. I don't know if you can see the pop-up parts, but it's really well done. And this one, it looks like the alligator crocodile is trying to attack the dog, and the elephant scares him away by knocking him out of the way with water or something. I'm not exactly sure. This one's pretty nice. You pull the dog. And this one is just kind of a little swing, so you can make him eat. He eats the sausage, the cake, and the other sausage, and the chicken. It doesn't seem like what most giraffes would really like. Just try to pop that back in there. Ooh, there we go. a classic pop-up slide. It's painting the zebra. I like his hair. But as with most pop-ups, there's not much more to it than that. There's usually less pages because they have to be so, there's so much that goes into them. But I really like the illustration style on this one. I always like a good pop-up anyway, but the illustration style is nice. And the little cat and the dog are cute little characters. This one's kind of has a modern and a vintage style all in one, kind of. So another book that I picked up in the Czech Republic, this I got at a bookstore in Brno, and this is another, apparently this is another author that is pretty well loved. And it's definitely more modern. Not a style that I normally like, but I did like, there's a lot of pages like this I really love. I like all of the line work. This is probably one of my favorite spreads from the whole book. You can see the light, the way they have illustrated it. You really feel like you're under the sea from the more distant. Too. I like the texture on the elephant. It's really nice. I think the way the toucan is illustrated is particularly nice too. I think it's funny how with you don't have to be able to read it. And I think at one point I did translate all this and read it, but it's like two friends on a rainy day, and they had fun with their toys and used their imagination. Yeah, those are really nice. So that was Czech Republic. And there's no particular order to any of these. These are a couple of books, and I know I have others, and I couldn't find them, but these were a couple of my favorites that I found. These were actually our last trip to Germany when we went to go visit our friends. They took us around Hamburg and the surrounding areas, and there are a lot of like free book libraries in Hamburg. So when we saw them, we stopped and looked, and of course I was looking for children's books, and there weren't a ton of them, but I did find these. So this is not a children's book, obviously this is a crime novel, but I loved the cover. I really like Halloween anyway, so it just had a really nice cat and like a, I don't know, reminds me of a little bit of a zombie kind of thing, but it says a crime novel, so I don't think it's a horror novel. And I really liked the logo from the publishing house. This is an old one too. The binding is not in the best shape, so I try not to open it up, but it's all in German, of course. So this was printed in West Berlin, 1969. Copyright 1962. So this is an old book. Might be fun to get out my Google Translate and try to actually read it, but that would be, it's not very long. I might be able to manage that without it being too maddening. But I really liked the cover art on this one. This was another that I found in the giveaway. I had several others that I also found at a thrift store, and maybe I'll share those again another time. But I think this means good luck. I think. But this is like almost like a little comic of this cat named Oscar, I think, and he's kind of a family man cat. He's got a wife, he's got kittens, and it's like the comedy of everyday life, you know, like I'm at the doctor and look at what these kittens are doing to me. They're making me drink. So it's kind of like that kind of stuff. It's interesting too because it's, you know, limited color printing, so you got basically red and white, or red and white and black, so black ink, red ink. It's only printed one side, so inexpensive printing. And I have no idea what's going on in most of these, but not exactly. I'm sure there's punchlines that only make sense when you can read them. And I did translate some of them at one point, but obviously I don't know them all. But it is like that's kind of an old joke, but it's always kind of funny. So kids writing on the wall. It's like, oh my gosh, he's in trouble. And then, see, look, no problem, says Dad. We'll just frame it. It's a Picasso. So sometimes you don't need to be able to read. I don't know why, but I think the printing on these is just really nice for, it's very clear and well done. And I'm assuming that might be the author or the artist, but it's really very cute. Yeah, this is year, 1956, and notice there's no barcode, so pre-barcode, pretty old. This one's pre-barcode as well, but I thought those were pretty neat. Those are not necessarily children's books, but really good finds, and I really love those. So to continue with some German finds, I have this one. This one is, I think it translates to like forest stories or forest tales or something like that. And this is one of the ones that I got in the free, one of the free bins, I think. Oh my gosh, I could be mistaken. This could have been one of the ones I got at a thrift store, but I know that I think it was very inexpensive. I do remember that. But I love the end papers on this one. Like, they're really nice. And there's, I think, like 3 stories in this. And, you know, I love a European squirrel. We do not have these little red squirrels. And I am, to this day, have not seen one in person. Here you can't like look in any given direction and not see a squirrel. So I'm kind of amazed how many times we've been in the country or in, you know, more rural areas of like, I don't know, the outskirts of cities and not seen a squirrel. I'm like, we're walking in the woods, why haven't I seen a squirrel? So I got a little bummed. I've got to see a squirrel. It's like I'm gonna have to like book a squirrel encounter at some point in order to get to see a squirrel. It's like the bear friend, mama bear and her rabbit friend or something like that. But looks like somebody put a label on their book. This is a pretty old one. Let's see if there's any kind of date. It's not as old as I thought. I'm assuming 1971. And there's a little note. But I like these illustrations are very soft. There's not a whole lot of crisp lines. They're very, very soft. And I think that has more to do with the way that it was produced, the way it was made photo ready. Is like whenever like the illustrator would illustrate and then they'd take pictures of it and then they would put that to a plate to print. And I think more than likely the original art was probably a lot more crisp. I could be wrong, but that's what I would say, that it was a lot more crisp originally. It's a violent looking wolf. That wolf did not play around. We have a rooster man. He's pretty cool looking. And a real person. I don't know what's going on here. Another person. But everybody looks happy in the end. At least the rabbit's happy. And I think this one translates to something like a spring, like something about the spring. Oh, there's another cute little squirrel. So you can see this one's a little bit more crisp. I don't know if you can tell, but the art is a little bit more crisp. It's a little fuzzy here. And part of that could be printing as well, but something tells me it's a combination of the capturing of the original art and the printing style. But I love these old style. You just don't see this type of illustration anymore. The line work is really nice. Another little squirrel. I like him. Little bunny booty. It's really cute. A little happy sunshine. It's kind of unusual in this style too to have things like that with faces. Like same thing, at least in a lot of the children's books I see, you don't usually see, like the mushrooms have little happy faces too, I noticed. You don't see that as often. in this older style. At least not in the children's books I had when I was growing up. It's a great toad or frog. It's really nice. Beautiful. Looks like he's kicking the leaves out. The Hungry Wolf and something about the bear. I don't know. You might be a different illustrator for all of these. I'm not really sure. That's really nice. I like that. Once again, we have a very angry wolf. Poor wolves, they get a bad reputation in children's books. I don't know what that means. The something bear. It was a hungry wolf and a something bear. Let's see if we can make it out. He said, he came to the man. He looks kind of sad. Looks kind of needy. And the man, did the man leave him hay? Did the man, for a bed? I don't know, because they don't eat hay. So. He's found somebody else and he's got this in his hand. Or yeah, I guess the same guy. Kartoffeln. That's potatoes. And those are potatoes. So then there's a box. And then something's in the bag. And there's the box. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened. Is that the bear in the bag? But the chicken to the fox? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it ended well for anybody except for maybe this little guy. But that's a really nice one. So I have quite a few that are German. This is one that is a newer book, so this is not a vintage book. This was one, I think I purchased this on my first trip, and it's a Christmas story. But the illustrations in this remind me very much so of a book that I had when I was a kid that wasn't a Christmas story, but it was about a little cat. And the way the little face is drawn reminds me so much of the book that I had as a kid, which was called Scat Scat Go Away Cat, which one day I'll have to share that one too. But it's really, really sweet. Very well done. Beautiful drawings. Winter snowy. It's a 2018 copyright, so very new. But all the little animals looking out the window and the beautiful snow, and you can see there's a light. So I think they decided to go out and investigate the light. And all the beautiful animals, a badger. It's like not really one you'd see in an American. Like hedgehogs too, like those are like, I think there's some states you couldn't even have a pet hedgehog in the United States, but you don't see hedgehogs and badgers really those are not our forest animals. Especially not, there's a lot of hedgehogs. I think they're adorable. I would flip out if I ever actually saw one in the wild. That would be so cool. And all the beautiful birds. I just love this point of view. It's a great point of view. And beautiful light. And as you can see, they found the manger. You see all the animals and the baby Jesus there. And it's like very low-key Christmas. I haven't read all of it yet, but it's I skimmed it with Google Translate, so it's on point, but it's very nice. That's a really nice one though. So I have one other German book, and this is not one of the vintage ones either, but this one is so nice. The illustrations on this one are amazing. It's a funny little story. I retranslated it just before I brought this all out to share with you, but the it's a little on the, it is so noir, it's so moody, and as evidenced by the illustrations, but the story is just as moody as the illustrations. But if you can see, it's called Mephisto. And his eyes are little mice. And you can see the city down here below. I don't know what city it's supposed to be, honestly. That would be a good question. There's some bridges and some things. I don't know that it says. It might. I'm honestly not sure if this is a translation from another, you know, if this is just German translated from another, you know, Bernard Villiot and Antoine, Giulope, I don't know how to say that. I'm sure I did not say that correctly, but it's the author, that's the illustrator. So I don't know. I can't tell where it was, if it was, you know, a German author, or if it's, you know, their author that's just been translated. So it's really nice though. But it basically translates out to, this cat is a black cat, and he is looked at as being a menace, and you know, not appreciated at all in the city. People are scared of him, other cats are scared of him, and because of that he was named Mephisto, because that was a dark and dubious name. So Mephisto was named in a way that even just gave him a reputation. And it's like, basically saying that nobody ever gave him a chance, and he was deemed, you know, bad and dark from the get-go because he's a black cat, which is a problem. A lot of black cats are given, there's kind of a, people who are superstitious don't like black cats for no good reason. Black cats are great too. But the illustrations are just beautiful, all black and white. You know, it's almost like a little find the cat exercise, but absolutely beautiful, stunning art. So this cat, he's in the city. People don't appreciate him. He's trying to find his place in the world, and finally he starts to go outside of town. So he's been in the city, and he finds his way on an adventure outside of town. And he starts to meet nature and be part of the world outside of the city, and he finds that he enjoys that. He finds peace in being outside of city walls, and he kind of exiles himself out to be with nature, and he finds that he enjoys that quite a bit. He can be free. If he doesn't belong to anybody, then if he doesn't have a home, then he wants to be free and happy. And it was kind of like he was having nightmares about life in the city and about being run away by people that didn't like him. So, like I said, it's a very moody book. It's almost too deep, I think, for a kid's book, honestly. Just beautiful. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure what happens, but he finds himself in going back toward the city again, I think, and some people recognize him, and they're like, Mephisto, Mephisto, and they want him to, and here he is with all the, he's basically like, you know, here's all these fat house cats, you know, he's not like them, you know, and I think the gist of it is that all of their house cats got too fat and lazy and spoiled, and they didn't want to hunt mice anymore, and they needed Mephisto to hunt the mice. So he kind of is like, okay, I'll do the job. I have to save these people from their fat, lazy, worthless cats, because, you know, I'm finally found out that they need me. And then after he's done getting the mice, he's like, no, I'm leaving. You'll never own me. I'm not staying. So he's back out to the country again, where he can be free. So that was the gist of the book as I saw it in my quick translation, once again through Google Translate. But stunning black and white. I absolutely love when you have these limited color books. I mean, it's just beautiful. The art and the design of the book is just amazing. So you know, this is I think I got this at a Teddy or something, I'm not sure, but maybe it was a Woolworth, I can't remember, but it was it was very, very inexpensive, €2.50, so really, really great little book. So I'll share one here's a couple. These are ones that I got more recently. This is a book that I got in Bosnia Herzegovina. This is an author that was it's a, I guess, Trebinji. I know I'm not saying that right. I can't remember the correct pronunciation of it. The author is from Trebinji, so that's the city that we went to. So this was published by a woman. I think she did the art and wrote the story. But it's called, I think it translates to the magic mushroom or magical mushroom. And it's basically a story of these ants, and they're getting ready for the winter or the harvest or something like that. And the little brother ants have a little bit of a fight, and one of them runs off, I think. And then there's a storm. And the big brother ant can't find the little brother ant. But the big brother ant meets a mushroom, this little mushroom in the forest, and the little mushroom is like, oh yeah, nobody ever noticed me because I'm so small. Well, come to find out that the little mushroom was so little that it survived the storm, I guess because the idea that it's low to the ground so it didn't get blown over or blown away. And it actually saved the little ant babies and the ant brother. And it sheltered the ants during the storm. So, a cute little story. And the author is, like I said, from Trebinji, and I think it went on to say that she had 2 children, and she was a mom, and did the illustrations and the story as well. So very, very cute. It's neat to see the art and the styling of folks who are from the different regions, and I like to have the books and support them. So, very colorful. This is a really cool one. So this is one I picked up in Albania, and to be honest, this is a Grimm's fairy tale. So this is a Grimm, Brothers Grimm. So this is a story that's not particularly, it's not necessarily Albanian, but I really liked the vintage illustrations in this. These could have been published in other places as well, but I had to get it because of how nice the illustrations were. So I think this is Concert of the Animals, or oh gosh, I can't remember, something like that. But it's a Grimm's fairy tale, so it's a story that we would also be familiar with. I think I'm gonna have to move some of these so I can leave this flat. Okay. So really nice little donkey, and I think the story has something to do with there's animals and they don't have enough food, and they have to end up doing a little performance to get food. So have you ever heard people say you're gonna have to go sing for your supper? That old saying. When they don't have any money, they're like, you're gonna make me have to sing for my supper. I think this might be where that comes from. I just really love the illustrations. Are really nice. And this is weird too, I noticed this, but page 8, page 9, and then there's a repeat of that art. I don't know if it was a mistake or basically the same thing happened, so just like I'm going to reuse it just because it's on a different page. But Oh goodness. I think you bit him. There's blood. I love all the little random details like the spider web on the window. It's really neat. But this was just a little one. I got this at like a little newsstand for really inexpensive, but I thought that was really neat. So I'll take a little diversion away from the children's book just to show you a few things that I also picked up. These are records. Dance Little Bird. But these were ones that I picked up in a thrift store. And I got them mostly for the same reason that I get most of the things I buy, but I like the illustrations on these as well. They're really kind of neat. So that's one. I thought this one was really nice too. I think these are also Grimm's fairy tales. So yeah. The cat, he's fun. They're fun little, there's a lot of drawings on this, but I find so much inspiration in the style. And there's some on the back, it talks about different, like what side 1, side 2. And here are some other offerings. This is the one I have here. Yeah, there's not anything special about the record on the inside, I don't think. No. It's in good, it might be a little scratched, I don't know. We have a record player, but we don't really get it out very often, honestly. But for €1, I just wanted the cover art mostly. It's a little frog prince, so cute. This is another adorable one with a little squirrel and the whole little scene. It's really nice. And there's some others from an Alice in Wonderland one. Those would be neat. Once again, I don't think there's anything special about the record itself. This one's in a little bit better shape. And this one's, oops, goodness, I hit the camera. This one's got some different art on each side, I think. So I think this one's a little bit more modern. The style of the drawings are a little bit more modern, but I thought they were really nice. Once again, there's a hedgehog. And it's another Brothers Grimm. Yeah, the art's different on the other side. I'm not really sure what's going on in there. I guess that's a little gnome. But these are really fun just to kind of look and see if you can figure out what's going on. Like, I feel like his shadow is like a bear. What are we doing to this poor fella? Doesn't look good. But it's really cute style. So I got these as well. So just some more fun stuff to share. So a couple of my last books. This is one that I got a long time ago in Italy. And this is one of my favorite books I've gotten. It's completely no words. Well, there's a poem that starts it, but it translates to Mad World. So as you can see on the cover, what's going on here is that the man is in the cage and the lion's outside. So it's kind of like opposites. Everything's opposites. And the art is just beautiful. See, the clown's going through the fire, and the lion is the ringmaster. So there's a poem, and I'm not exactly sure what the poem says, but I'm assuming that it kind of explains the idea of a mad world. But if you look there, I'm pretty sure if we turn this around, yeah, you can see a man with a mustache and a beard, a bald man. You see a child. So everything's like upside down in this world. And I love the super painterly style. This is just one of the neatest books. So the mouse is running from the cats. The cats are running from the mouse. And I guess these are all cold weather animals in the summer. You know, so you got a polar bear in the jungle, you know. There's another polar bear. But I love this it's like painterly style. And the rabbit's shooting the hunter. And the house is small. And this is the cover, so the lion's on the outside and the man is in there, and he is in natural habitat. So the horse is riding the man, the jockey, instead of the other way around. This one's interesting. So the house is on water and they're fighting it with fire. The house is drowning. So this one, the punk is giving the businessman money on the street. And the dog is making the man fetch. And I guess the people are also like fish, I guess. I don't know, it's a mad world. And the ringmaster is performing the tricks while the bear and all the audience are the animals. There's another human there. The baby's feeding the mom. This is one of my favorite ones. The dinosaurs are visiting the humans and seeing them on display instead of the opposite, their bones. And the three little pigs are the ones that are knocking down the house. I'm not sure about this, and I'm sure if I think about it long enough, it'll come to me what is going on exactly, but it's kind of on the gruesome side, so once again, may not be exactly, I don't know. It's not the same type of children's book anyway. We have a land where, I guess there's SpongeBob with Nancy's body, Babar with the body of a penguin, Snoopy with Popeye's body, Mickey Mouse with Batman, and Donald Duck with Snoopy's body. So just kind of like a bunch of different mixed up stuff. Nancy with Superman, yeah. So there's the penguin head, there's Babar's body, so they're all mixed up. And then we've got boats on land, cars in the sky, helicopters in the water. Everything's all mixed up. All the things that are small are big, all the things that are big are small. The butterfly's trying to catch the girl. The boy's taking his parents for a walk and holding their hand. And much like we started with the jungle animals and the jungle with the cold weather animals, we have the cold weather animals, and we have the jungle animals in the cold weather. So kind of starts and stops very similarly. The bats are not hanging upside down. I don't know. It's not really so much opposite. The night's a little opposite, so was it all a dream? Is that what they're trying to say? The mad, mad world is a dream. But anyway, this is just a really beautiful book. Just a picture book. And this is the same as this particular book. It's just a great picture book. Now there's some writing in this one, but this is another German one, actually. I got this book, I think, maybe the first time. I think it was the first time we went to Germany, but this one is like, it shows the land in all the different seasons. So, and from what I remember, if you read the little things that the people say, they talk about what their part in it is. So this is another new book, but I really love the illustrations. So it's the winter, you see all the people in town. Oh, it's really a farm, I guess. Maybe it's more like a village, so a little bit of both. So it's like the January, so it's the height of, in the corner there's the month. So this could be like the height of winter. In February. In March, and things are starting to thaw out. You can see the ground, but there's still some snow patches here and there. And they're starting to plow. So it's just neat to see the same scenes. You know, the chicken coop, the way it looked. The house, the way it looks. So March, April full spring, doing planting. In the summer, May, things are starting to grow. And it's still the spring technically, yeah, but things are starting to grow. June, where summer really begins. So it's basically the same scene through every month of the year. And it's just, the whole purpose is just to watch all the changes. In July, you can even tell the color of the grass changes. And they're starting to bale the hay. From August. I don't know, maybe it's good that they show the rain. I guess people, I don't know if that's a particularly rainy season, August. In September, you can see it starts to get darker. And everything's been harvested. They have a fire. October. They have some different things out. Maybe that's a pumpkin patch. And they have a fire in the house and the chimney. There's some pumpkins there. November. They're still working the fields, doing something. Making leaves. A kite. Looks like that kite would go away during a day like that. Looks like a very windy day. The smoke is blowing that way. Everybody's hair is blowing that way. I think he might have lost his hat. Yeah, he lost his hat. And then we're at December, where the snow starts. They're cutting down a tree. They have some decorations. That's funny. I think the snowman's on his cell phone. But yeah, I really like the end papers on this. They're really pretty. So you kind of like, I think you meet the people of the village, and then you get to see the crops and the harvest and the foods, which these are all so well done. They're just beautifully drawn, so colorful. But yeah, so those are some of my favorite books that I've gotten. I have a lot more, so if you really like this video, let me know. I have a couple of last things I was going to share with you that are kind of precious, and one of the reasons why I thought I'd share them now is because they remind me very much so. One of the reasons why I got them is how much they remind me of like a three-dimensional children's book style illustration. I feel like they're like three-dimensional illustrations. That's what I like about them. So these are some Venetian masks that we actually purchased in Shkodra, Albania. So Albania is actually not very, like, it's right across the sea from Italy and Venice. So they're not that far from each other. The area was inhabited by Italians once upon a time. So the ways of Venetian mask making are very much so a part of the the culture there too, believe it or not. So this mask company we toured was really, really neat. So they had a whole warehouse where, I don't know, maybe as many as 20, but probably not that many workers are in there making all of these masks by hand in the traditional ways of Venetian mask makers. Now, if you go to Venice, please do look at the masks and do purchase one. I actually do have one that I purchased in Venice, but it was very different from this. It was more that kind of Harlequin style, I guess you could say. And these are, you know, they had those as well, but this is more of the fantasy style, I guess you could say. But this is a little fox, and of course he really reminds me of, you know, all of the characters, but all of the molds they make themselves. These are all hand painted, originally painted. You know, so he has scuffs and all. He's original and beautiful. They have ties in the back, and they're paper mache ties, or it's all paper mache, but really, really well made, just beautiful. I love these so much, and there were so many. It was really hard to choose. At first I was trying to choose between the two of these, and I couldn't. So Patrick was like, just get the both, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Once in a lifetime. So I'm proud to have these as part of my collection. I really love the fox. He sort of embodies a lot of the wonderful things that I see in the children's books. So I really wanted him. And this one is a little devil. This one's a lot bigger as well. But it's really, really well done, as you can see. Just beautiful. And there's a sticker, handmade Venetian mask. And this was the tag that they have. But it was really neat. You actually got to view the area where the workers are hand making these, and you can see all of the different molds that they had, and how there's some that have like that have scenes of Venice on them and things like that, and they of course they sell them there in the shop, but they also sell them to high-end places in Italy. They actually had information about different corporate, I think he said Shell Oil at one point had done one of their classes where they come in and they learn how to make their own masks. So very, very interesting thing that we found in Albania. It was completely unexpected. I didn't realize that was even there. So one day when I learned about it and we had some extra time and we went by, and I was really glad that we did. So once again, if you've never been to Venice, please do go, and please do buy a mask in Venice. But this was also something that you should not miss in Albania, in Skodra. So I really hope you enjoyed all of this. I'm so glad that I got to share this with you. It's been some of the stuff I've been wanting to share for a very long time. But if you like this video, let me know if there's something else you would like to see. If you'd like to see some more books, I have so many. I have some vintage. I have a whole stack of vintage children's books. I have some really nicely illustrated newer children's books that are interesting. I also have some graphic design books that are really cool. I have one that's about nothing but Yugoslavian logos. And then I have some others that are I mean, just, I have some that Patrick bought me for my birthday that are about Japanese commercial art from the, I can't remember what, I think it's from the 20s all the way to the 60s or 70s. I can't remember right now, but some really, really nice books. So, yeah, I have a lot of books, but, you know, there may be some other things that you would like to see from me. But anyway, thank you for letting me share. Maybe I'll get to do another one of these very soon. I hope you guys have a great Sunday night, and we'll see you next time.